we will solve question number 52. So first let us read the question. How many partners are there? There are two partners, A and B. They are the old partners and their old profit sharing ratio is 3:2. Now the new partner which is admitted is C. C was admitted. Now what was C's share of profit? C will get 1/8 share in the profits of the firm. That means 1/8 is the C's share of profit. Now we will mark the adjustment. We will have adjustment in C's loan. Then we will have adjustment in provision for doubtful debts. That means we will have adjustment in debtors. Then stock to be depreciated. That means stock will have adjustment. Okay. Next we will have adjustment in land. Okay. Now the goodwill of the firm was valued at 48,000 and C brought his share of goodwill premium in cash. That means goodwill was brought in the form of cash. So obviously cash will also have adjustment. So after marking the adjustment, the next thing that we need to do is calculating the sacrificing ratio. Now for calculating the sacrificing ratio, as we all know, the formula is old share minus new share. Here we have the old share, but the new share is not given in the question. So we will first calculate the new share and then the sacrificing ratio. Now we will do the working note first. So since here the new ratio is not given, so first we need to calculate the new ratio. So first we will take let the total share of profit is equal to 1. In this case, C is the new partner, okay, and his share is 1/8. So here we will write C's share of profit is equal to 1/8. Now we will calculate the remaining share. So remaining share is equal to 1 minus 1/8. Now if we will do the calculation, then we will get 7/8. Okay, so our remaining share is 7/8. Now as we all know, the formula for calculating new share is equal to remaining share into old share. So this is the formula. I hope you all remember. Now first we need to calculate the new share of A. So A's new share is equal to, what is the remaining share? Remaining share is 7/8. So here we can write 7/8. And the old share, as it is given in the question, 3:2. So that means A's share will be 3/5. So here in old share we will write 3/5. Now if we calculate, we will get 21/40. Okay, so A's new share is 21/40. Now what will be B's new share? B's new share is equal to remaining share into old share. Remaining share is same, 7/8, and as per the question, old share will be 2/5. So we can write here 2/5. So here we will get 14/40. Now we can calculate the sacrificing ratio. So we have to calculate sacrificing ratio for A and B. Now as per the formula, sacrificing ratio is old share. So first, what is the old share? Old share of A is 3/5 and for B is 2/5 minus new share. So new share we got 21/40 and for B it is 14/40. So here we can write 21/40 and here we will write 14/40. Now we can calculate 3/5 minus 21/40. So we will get here 40, and here it will be 24 minus 21, so it will be 3 by 40. And for B it will be 2 by 5 minus 14 by 40, so here we will get again 40, 16 minus 14, we will get 25 by 40. So the denominator is same, as you can see. So here the sacrificing ratio will be, sacrificing ratio is equal to 3 by 40, 2 by 40, so the denominator is same. So here we come to the conclusion that the sacrificing ratio is 3:2. Okay, now after that let us start with the sum. As we can see, bank overdraft, so there is no adjustment in bank overdraft, so in the new balance sheet we can write directly bank overdraft, bank overdraft. So the balance of bank overdraft as per book is 12,000. Now next item is creditors. Creditors also don't have any adjustment, so in creditors we can write directly the balance 18,000. Now the next transaction is provision for doubtful debts. So normally provision for doubtful debts is deducted from debtors, so we can assume that since it is given in the old balance sheet, so we can assume that this is the old provision. Okay, so that adjustment we will do later. Next we have general reserve. As I explained in my earlier classes also, that general reserve need to be shared, and since it is recorded in the liability side, so it would be shared in the partners capital account in the credit side. So here we will write by general reserve. As you can see, the amount is 9,000 and we have two old partners. As I told you, any kind of reserve should be shared among the old partners in old profit sharing ratio. So here the old partners are A and B, and the old profit sharing ratio is 3:2. So we will share in the ratio this 9,000 in the ratio 3:2. So now if we share in the ratio 3:2, so for A it will be 5,400, okay, and for B it will be 3,600. Okay, so the general reserve is shared. Now next is C's loan. Okay, C's loan have adjustment, so we won't enter it now. Next we have A and B's opening capital, or you can say the previous capital. So that one we will brought down in the partners capital account by balance brought down. For A, the capital as you can see is 60,000, so we will write here 60,000, and for B the capital is 1,80,000, so here we will write 1,08,000, not 80,000, 1,08,000. Okay, now let's go to the asset side. As we can see, cash have adjustment, so in the new balance sheet we will just write cash, we won't write the amount and keep some space. Second entry is debtors. Okay, debtors also have adjustment, so here we will just write debtors and keep the space blank. Next we have bills receivable. Okay, bills receivable don't have any adjustment. Bills receivable is 24,000. Since there is no adjustment in bills receivable, so we can record here bills receivable directly the amount 24,000. Okay, now let's go to the next transaction. So our next transaction is stock. Okay, now stock have adjustment. Okay, so we will just write here stock and keep the space blank. Next, as we can see, we have building and there is no adjustment in the building, so we can directly record building. So here we will record building, no adjustment is there, so we can write here directly 54,000. Okay, now let's see the next entry. Next entry is land. Okay, land have adjustment, So we will write here land and keep the space blank. Okay. Now coming to the adjustments. Now in the first adjustment it is said that C's loan will be converted into his capital. This means that C is not going to bring any extra amount for capital, but the loan which he has given to the firm, okay, see here, this loan will be converted to his capital, which means that he has given loan to the firm. Now he is saying to the firm, or he has kept the condition for the firm that whatever loan I have given you, no need to repay me, no need to pay it back to me or repay me, just transfer it to my capital account. So this loan will be transferred to his capital. So here we will write in his capital account in the credit side by C's loan, and this loan will be converted in capital. So I am writing here C's capital in bracket because the loan which he has given to the firm is now converted into his capital. So here C's loan, how much loan he has given? 12,000. This 12,000 will become his capital. So here in the C's column we will write 12,000. Okay. Now next entry means, or next adjustment, what we have, the goodwill of the firm. This is the goodwill of the firm. The goodwill of the firm is 42,000. Now from here C brought his share of goodwill in premium in cash, means this is the total goodwill of the firm. From here we will calculate the goodwill of C, and that goodwill is brought in the form of cash. Okay. So now we have to do the calculation for this. Now as you can see, goodwill of the firm is given 48,000. So we will do the working note. Goodwill. So goodwill of firm is given in the question 48,000. Now who is coming in? As we all know that C was admitted, so we will calculate C's goodwill. So C's goodwill is equal to 48,000 into what was C's share of profit. As we can see very clearly that C's share of profit was 1/8. So here we will write 48,000 into 1/8. So it will make 6,000. Okay. Now this 6,000 will be given to him by, who will give him? Sorry, who will get this goodwill? Means to whom he will compensate this? To A and B. Okay. C is going to give his share of goodwill to A and B in which ratio? In sacrificing ratio. So here we can write A will get 6,000 into, so the sacrificing ratio is 3:2. So we can write here 3/5. Okay, and here B will get 6,000 into 2/5. So after doing the calculation we will get 3,600 for A and 2,400 for B. So this they will get in the form of premium. So in the partners capital account we will write here by premium for goodwill, as we have calculated. For A it is 3,600. So here we will write 3,600 for A, and for B it was 2,400. So for B we will write 2,400. So the goodwill part is done. Next adjustment. Now provision for doubtful debts was to be made equal to 5% of debtors. That means we have to keep provision of 5% on our debtors. So that means provision, as we all know, we need to deduct. So in the balance sheet 18,000 was the value of debtors less provision at the rate. How much provision we need to keep according to the, we need to keep provision of 5%. So provision at the rate 5%, if we write here, then we will get 900. Now if we deduct 900 from here, we will get 17,100. Okay, so now the next thing, here we got the provision as 900, but as we all remember that we had one old provision that was 600. Okay, so that means there is an increase in the value of provision. Now the point is, suppose debtors, just see here, debtors, the value of debtor is 18,000. Okay, now the old provision was, this is the old provision. According to the question, the old provision was only 600. So if we deduct 600 from debtors, we would get 17,400, right? So this is the value of debtors if the old provision was 600. Okay, now again 18,000 is the value of debtors less new provision. What is the new provision? 900. Now if we deduct 900 from 18,000, we have got 17,100. So from here it is very clear that due to the increase in the value of provision, our debtors value has also gone down, right? It has decreased. Earlier it was 17,400, now it has come down to 17,100. Why this value has decreased? Because there is an increase in the value of provision. So whenever the value of provision for doubtful debts will increase, it should always be recorded in the debit side of revaluation account. So we will write here to provision for doubtful debts. Now the new provision according to the question is 900 less 600. So the increase is 300. This 300 is the difference between the old debtor and the new debtor. That means this is the difference. This is the amount, means 300 is the amount by which the value of debtors has gone down. That is why the provision, that is the difference of the provision, should be written in the debit side. Okay, if the provision decreases. Now the next adjustment is stock to be depreciated by 5%. So as we all know, depreciation means decrease, means we have to deduct 5% from the value of stock. So here we can see what is the value of stock given in the question, 30,000. So we will record here 30,000 less depreciation at the rate. Now according to the question, our depreciation is 5%. So we will write here depreciation at the rate 5%. So 5% of 13,000 is 1,500, and from 30,000 if we deduct 1,500, we will get 28,500. So this is the new value of stock. Now see, now because of this depreciation, the value of stock has decreased. So whenever there is a decrease in the value of asset, it should be recorded in the debit side of revaluation account. So to stock, so what was the depreciation? The depreciation was 1,500. So here we will write 1,500. Okay, next adjustment. The next adjustment is land to be appreciated by 10%. So appreciation means increase. So obviously when there is an increase in the value of asset, it should be recorded in the credit side. So we will write here by land. How much was the increase? 10%. So we will write here 10% of the original value of land. As you can see in the question, the original value of land is 88,800. So here we will write 10% of 88,800. So 10% of 88,800 is 8,880. So appreciation means increase. So we need to add this balance. So we will add this balance with the old balance, that is plus 8,880. So we will get a total of, so the new value of land will become 97,680. Okay. So now all the adjustments are done. So now we will calculate the revaluation account first. It is very clear that our credit side is greater, because in the credit side we have 8,880 and in the debit side we only have 300 plus 1500, it will make 1800. So here it is very clear that there will be profit because the credit side is greater. So we will write here 8,880, here also 8,880. So from 8,880, if we deduct 300 and 1500, we will get, so we will get the profit. So we will write here to profit on revaluation transferred to, two partners were there, A and B, and their ratio were 3:2. So here it will be 3/5, 2/5 into, so from 8,880, if we deduct 300 and 1500, we will get a profit of 7080. Okay, here also 7080. Now if we do the calculation, so for A it will be 4248 and for B it will be 2832. Okay, so the total will be 7080. So 2 here means 2 profit in the capital account will become by, we have got the profit under revaluation account, so it will be by revaluation account. Here it is profit, so we will write here 4248 in A's column, because A's profit was 4248 and B's profit is 2832. So in B's column we will write 2832. Okay, so this part is done. Now we can calculate the capital for A, B and C. So now if we total out A's column, we will get 73,248, and then if we total out B's column, we will get 1,16,832, and for C's column only 12,000 is there. Okay, now if we see in the debit side there is no item to be deducted, so here in both sides we will write in the total column 73,248 for A, 1,16,832 for B, and for C it will be 12,000. Now since there is nothing to deduct, so we can directly write here to balance carried down. For A it will be 73,248. Okay, for B it will be 1,16,832, and for C it will be 12,000. Okay, now this will become their new capitals. So we will write in the new balance sheet, in capitals, under capitals we will write capitals. For A it will be 73,248, as we can see here 73,248. Now for B it is 1,16,832. So for B we will write 1,16,832. Now for C we will write, as we can see here, C's capital, in C's column it is 12,000, so C's capital will be 12,000. So we will write here 12,000. Okay, so now we got the capitals. Now coming to cash. So what was the opening balance of cash? The opening balance of cash was 4,800. So we will write here 4,800 plus, now see, normally whatever capital and whatever goodwill was brought by the new partner, that is C, is added with cash, right? But here C has not brought any capital in the form of cash. Okay, in this question his loan is only converted into his capital. So for capital, no cash will be added with this opening balance of cash, but the goodwill, okay, the goodwill, his goodwill was brought in the form of cash. So as we know, we have already calculated here, C's goodwill was 6,000 and this goodwill was brought in the form of cash. So this 6,000 will be added with the cash, only the 6,000. So it will make 10,800. So now if you total both the side, that is asset and liabilities, we will get a total of 2,32,080 in liability side also, and same in the asset side also, 2,32,080. okay, so as you can see, both the total of both liabilities and asset side is equal. So now we can say that the sum is